In 2006, when Sean Payton and Drew Brees joined forces, little did they know they'd form one of the most dynamic all-time quarterback-coach duos in NFL history. Now, after Payton's landed in Denver and has found his new quarterback, will he have another epic 15-year run with Bo Nix? Nix had a good rookie season, nothing spectacular, but two things are now clear. Payton has found a legitimate quarterback he can mentor and develop, and Bo Nix plays nothing like Drew Brees. That's because Nix throws deep 13.1% of the time, 13th highest in the league, and Brees never once in his career eclipsed that number. He was usually more around the 7 to 9% range. Nix also finished second in the league in throws behind the line of scrimmage. Payton loves the screen game, so Nix is very go big or dink and dunk. Brees was more of a meticulous attack every area of the field, especially underneath type. Nix is gonna push the ball deep, gonna throw a quick screen, or, and this is what really sets him apart from Brees, he is gonna run the football. While Brees was never known for his mobility, Nix led the league with 52 unpressured scrambles, meaning he sits in the pocket unpressured, then decides to take off running. He did that more than Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, all of them. If it's late in the down, Bo Nix is taking off. For example, when the Colts disguise this man coverage look, where usually when the offense motions a wide receiver across the formation, a cornerback would need to follow him to get speed on speed, but the Colts trick Nix by starting to send a linebacker, indicating it's zone coverage. Harder to scramble against zone, because everybody'd be looking at you. But when Bo takes a snap and identifies its man, he knows he can scramble and picks up a nice gain. One term I'm still workshopping is bobblehead, referring to a quarterback who's able to move his head and eyes back and forth to gather as much information as possible. Bobbleheads are up and down, not side to side, still a work in progress. Quarterbacks who don't move their heads a lot, or when they do get overwhelmed with info, aren't successful NFL QBs, and them staring down their targets is a dead giveaway they're not processing enough information. And sometimes it's because their coaches aren't letting them do it, because they aren't as good as some of the other guys in the league. The bobblehead QBs, the good QBs, their heads are bouncing everywhere gathering information, but at the same time do it in a controlled manner to take in maximum information while still staying calm and accurate. Bo Nix bobblehead certified is obviously a plus in my book, and if he as a scrambler can quickly process nobody's open, then take off, that's a plus too. However, at least through his rookie season, he was often running or starting to run too early. One of the challenges of coaching a scrambling quarterback is teaching him to weigh the opportunity cost of when to scramble versus when to stay in the pocket and keep reading the field. Sure, you might get a 5 or 6 yard gain, or maybe he finds a short completion out of the pocket, but sometimes there's a receiver that comes open late, so even on a small gain, the quarterback is actually leaving yards on the field. Brady was always the master at staying in the pocket till the very last second. And if, let's say, the defense rushed super conservatively, just trying to contain him, they wanted to flood his underneath zones, he could just sit in the pocket while his protection held up and bomb you deep late in the down. Nix's scrambling can also negatively affect his footwork in the pocket, which leads to inaccuracy. Brees was known for his meticulous footwork, robotic, precise style of reading the field and dissecting you in the short passing game. Well, Nix couldn't be more different. He'll often throw on the run in or out of the pocket, which can both lift his game, but also hurt it. For example, the Browns sent Grant Delpit late off the edge, which requires Bo to slide in the pocket and throw on the run. Here, it's necessary to complete the pass, or he's taking a sack. For most quarterbacks, this can have dire effects on their accuracy, a late in the down transition from an on-platform to an off-platform throw. But Nix, at times, is extremely comfortable doing it. But then there are other times where his propensity to scramble gets the best of him, and it ruins the timing of the concept, and thusly, his accuracy. Concepts are designed to come open at very specific times in the down. A receiver isn't just open the entire play, he's breaking purposefully to an exact spot, there's an exact landmark to throw to, the ball needs to get to him now. This is where the Brees comparison comes in again. He was the best at staying within the timing of the concept Sean Payton was calling and scheming, but watch here how Nix doesn't like either outbreaker on this disc concept, fine, but instead of coming back to his check down, where if he throws it to the away from the linebacker shoulder, this is a 5 yard pickup all day long, But instead, Nix starts to scramble, the linebacker closes, Nix throws late and inaccurately, and it's incomplete. This happens too often where he begins moving unnecessarily, so he creates more difficult throws for himself where he's just making things harder. It's always easier to throw stationary than on the run, so once again, he's creating an inaccurate throw. I will say that Payton definitely sees his mobility as a plus. He tries to get him on the move often with sprint out concepts, but I think this coach-QB relationship is still developing because there were some strange play designs that, at least for me, didn't make a lot of sense. I can't tell if this is supposed to be a full sprint out or a half sprint to fool the defense, but this is one of the Broncos' core concepts where their tight end blocks inside out, but then Nix would roll outside of him, or here just run into the end and create unnecessary chaos. Even when Nix had his feet under him, there were some strange moments where he's either dirting a ball on 3rd and long, or there were times where he showed really good awareness and vision for a concept, then on the same concept be staring right at the same open receiver but not get rid of the ball. On this first drive in the wildcard game, it's 3rd and 8, and the Broncos have this 3-man dagger concept, which sucks up the intermediate coverage so that the dagger route comes open. Nix does a great job sitting in the pocket and reading out the coverage, waits till the crosser takes away the hook defender, and makes a big-time throw. But then against the Colts, now we have a similar dagger concept, where now both guys are open, there's way less coverage over the middle, but now Nix doesn't throw, scrambles again, and we barely gain any yardage. It became a repeated theme where he'd be staring at an open receiver and not pull the trigger. Remember how we just saw a linebacker run with a receiver, meaning it's usually zone coverage? Well, when a cornerback follows a receiver, it's usually man, so Nix does a good job of not audibling, you can see his thumbs up, keeps the play on, but when the designed route comes wide open, like it's all designed to go here and only here, he just doesn't throw it, and here's another layer of something I'm really worried about heading into year 2. After a quick touchdown on the first drive, the Bills started putting a designated spy on him, so whenever he broke the pocket, he'd get chased down, and between Courtland Sutton, Evan Ingram coming over from the Jags, you can get away with using a spy because the Broncos don't really have a receiver you're terrified of that you need to double, so defenses will have enough bodies to burn one with a spy on Nix. That means he'll have to learn to sit in the pocket better. But like I said, there are just weird vision lapses where, just like last week with Drake May, the Broncos are running Haas F Juke. It's 2nd and 4, just hit Devon Vele for a first down. But like I was talking about earlier, sure, he scrambles for a first down and the drive continues, but maybe Vele breaks a tackle and rips us off for 10 or 20. It's the little opportunity costs that add up and create losses over the course of a full 60 minutes. There are definitely areas of his game that I like, don't get me wrong. There are times where he's throwing to the correct shoulder underneath and adding yardage to the play. He's finding hidden yardage where a 3-yard pickup becomes a 7, but then at the same time he'll throw to the wrong shoulder and not maximize that yardage. Or even worse yet, he's creating incompletions. If Payton can reel him in, ground his footwork, and have him pick and choose when to run, there is real potential for Nix as an NFL quarterback. There's enough of a floor built into this offense where he won't crater out. He's great with RPOs, then all the screens that Payton is famous for. That part of the Broncos will get a bump too, considering the talent at tight end and running back they've added. Nix flashed with some of the deep balls we saw, and he can make some really nice throws from the pocket and on the run. But right now, it's his over-reliance on scrambling, which often makes him off balance in the pocket, that keeps the ceiling of this offense low. What interests me so much about this Payton-Nix marriage is, as I said, how different the new and old quarterback are from one another. We saw Payton excel with Brees by using super specific, calculated designs, so it's fascinating how different Nix is with his looser style, where his game is not predicated on playing from within the pocket, down in and down out. He's trying to get out of it. He and the Broncos already had remarkable success in his first season, Payton's second in Denver, but I'm curious to see if Nix can iron out some of these issues we saw today, and if Payton will continue to shape this offense around his ability to move, or try to reel Nix back into the Brees style of offense that saw some of the highest highs we've ever seen. Bo Nix came into Denver and had one of the best rookie seasons of anybody in the 2024 star-studded class. If he continues to push the ball deep and beat teams over the top, while using his legs for good and taking away the bad, he might not look like the Drew Brees offense of old, but he and Sean Payton could build an offense that's devastatingly new.